Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakawadash. Alright, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel, who consist of the so-called blacks, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans, and also to, the Israelites that have been scattered abroad, who look like the other nations, but whose line actually goes back to Israel, all right, who are likened unto the speckled bird. All right, shalom. This lesson is going to be about this article that just came out recently. It says most of California days away from new stay-at-home order, governor says. All right, and just read. It's only because it just came out. It just came out. So there's only these two paragraphs or stanzas. It says most of California is headed for a new stay-at-home orders. Governor Gavin Newsom announced Thursday, saying big regions of the state are days away from critically low hospital capacity that will trigger new restrictions. Newsom's warning that California and its 40 million residents may soon need to pull the emergency brake comes as many governors renew economically painful shutdowns in an attempt to fight a cold weather surge of the coronavirus. All right, so I'm grabbing this article because, hey, your holidays are ruined. All right, and the here at Great Millstone, the prophets have been saying this, man, that the mirth spirit is going out the fucking door. All right. Your Thanksgiving was ruined, and guess what? Your Christmas is gonna be ruined too. All right. This is Amos 5. I'm gonna start at Let me start up a bit. I'm gonna start at 16. It says, "Therefore the Lord, the power of hosts, the Lord saith thus, wailing shall be in all the streets, and they shall say in all the highways, Alas, alas, and they shall call the husbandman to mourning, and such as are skillful of lamentation to wailing." All right, so they're calling all the husbandmen, which are people who farm, and skillful men, being your whatever trade you might be into, they're being called to lament. Because why? Because all these shutdowns are happening, meaning they can't work anymore. You're shut in, man. All right, verse 17, "And all the vineyards shall be wailing, for I will pass through thee, saith the Lord. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? That the day of the Lord is darkness and not light." Yeah, and when you go into that folly day Christmas, it's still, all these other Christian, plantation Christian denominations, they branch off from the Catholic Church. When you go into the Catholic Church of how they break down Christmas, they believe that, one of these Christmases, so-called sweet Jesus is going to come back. But, hey, what end is it for you? All right? He says, "The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him." All right, so it's like that final destination. That's how Jacob's trouble is going to be. That's how these end times are going to be. All right, if you think it's bad now, it's going to get worse, man. Just like hey, you got the vaccination, you fled from COVID-19, but the missiles are coming, man. World War III is coming. All right, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. All right, your feast days going into Thanksgiving and well, in Amos, let me clarify, because in Amos, the 5th chapter, when you read on, it does go into Israel's all right, feast days, all right, such as Hanukkah. And the reason why Amos wrote about it here is because back then the Lord despised the feast days because they're keeping it in hypocrisy. It says, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast. Take thou away from the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vowels. But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. Have ye offered unto me sacrifice and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch in Shean, your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves. Therefore will I cause you to go into captivity beyond Damascus, says the Lord, whose name is the God of hosts. So, hey, back then Israel went, it says they born a tabernacle to your Moloch and Cheon, which are false gods, and the star of your God, So they were sacrificing to different idols, man. And the same thing's going on. So-called Jesus Christ, that's a false idol, man. So he's not dealing with that. And he's showing you, man. He's taking that mirth spirit out of Christmas. And he's been doing it over the years. Alright. Over the years, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all these dumb fucking holidays have gotten worse and worse, man. Man, even Halloween, man, that shit was weak. 4th of July, that shit was weak. And y'all know it too, man. All you scoffers that have been scoffing at us. Yeah, y'all are gonna see. This is Isaiah 24. I'm gonna start at I'll start at 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. Hey, yeah, where's the jolly season, man? How many of y'all are watching y'all's Christmas movies this time of year? The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down, Babylon. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. More lockdowns. There is a crying for wine in the streets. And that's twofold, really. Because you're gonna have people crying to get drunk, and we see that right now. Liquor sales are at an all-time high ever since this coronavirus. But also a crying for wine because wine represents knowledge, all right? Because everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. What's real, what's fake news, what's real news, what's reliable, who's a false prophet, who's a real prophet. Hey, if you came across this video for the first time, hey, Great Millstone is a real prophet, all right? All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Yup. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. Should I keep going? Yeah, I'll keep going. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, and as the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done. And when you go into that word vintage, it means the year or place in which wine, especially wine of high quality, was produced. And like I said, wine represents knowledge and wisdom. So this is the time when that good wine is being delivered, man. When you read into Daniel and he says, shut up or seal the prophecies, it's written for a certain time, a specific time. And when they speak, they shall not tarry. This is that time, man. This is the time that, the men of the Lord have been speaking of. Jacob's trouble. They shall lift up their voice, they shall sing for the majesty of the Lord. They shall cry aloud from the sea. Wherefore glorify ye the Lord in the fires, even the name of the Lord, Yahweh, power of Israel, in the isles of the sea. And that's what you see, man. All across the globe. All across the globe. Men of the Lord have been risen up, waking up to who they are in the spirit, that they're Israelites. They called upon the name of the Lord and called out to the scattered, you know, that Yahweh Shema Shai is about to bring judgment. From the uttermost part of the earth have we heard songs, even glory to the righteous. Yeah, and that's the true songs that you should be singing, man. As you're singing prophecies. And when I say singing, I'm not actually talking about, raising and lowering your octaves. you know, I'm talking about speaking it, man. Doing lessons, going out to the highways and byways, getting with camps. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me. The treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yeah, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. The main point is that there's a crying for wine in the streets, all joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone, the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. Yeah, you know, it's a time of mourning, man. Hey, but the men of the Lord are in a spirit of rejoicing, because this is what we've been waiting on. This is what we've been crying out to the masses, crying out to the elect, I should say. You know, because that's really we're out to give warning to the masses, but only the elect are gonna receive it. But now that we've spoken these things, we get to watch it happen, man. This is Second Ezra 15, and I'll start at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men. Let's go to that word sedition. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Man, you have so many different divisions protesting too. Yeah, you got Antifa, you got the Black Lives Matter movement, you got the Proud Boys, all these different sects and inciting, violence against the authorities, sedition among men. But guess what? It's going to get worse and invading one another. You had Chad, or what was it, Chad or Chaz, up there in Washington. They took over a block of downtown, man. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So there you have it, man. Anarchy, to sum that all up. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Lockdowns, martial law, military checkpoints. It's going to get worse, man, because through the Spirit, we already see how this pandemic, beer virus, whatever you want to call it, it's the perfect boogeyman, false flag to pin anybody as, a domestic terrorist. Because, through the Spirit, we already knew that, hey, somehow, some way, they're going to have a false flag event and, try to pin it on, the Hebrew Israelites. Well, now they say, well, if you're not trying to get vaccinated and you're out here not wearing a mask, spreading a deadly virus deliberately, then, you're a domestic terrorist. All right. So that's how we know, like, this has to be it, bro. This has to be it. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Yeah, and you can already see, man, people don't give a fuck about each other anymore. You see it driving, people getting road rage, and there's less traffic too, man. That's the crazy thing. But that tension is high. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So there you have it. It's going to get worse. People are going to get to a point where they haven't eaten Hey, they haven't getting work, they haven't getting paid. You know, the benefits are drawing, slim pickings. So when there's slim pickings, then there's a lot of spoils. um, but let me grab this. This is Second Ezra 16. Let me start at 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right, so, all these famine, plagues, tribulation and anguish, economic is on the economy is on the verge of collapsing, these are sent as scourges for amendment. All right, but verse 20 says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So, with all this going on, with prophecies speaking, such as sedition among men, tensions rising between, and within Babylon itself, man, raging against authorities. All right, people being divided against themselves. All right, with all of this going on, they're not gonna turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? Because, okay, you're out of work, but you can still order on DoorDash, a 4 for 4 to come to come to your house. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. All right. So in the midst of, you know, all these things going on, it's gonna get worse. All right, because because you think that, you're safe in your own house or your own bunker or your own remote land, it's gonna get worse. All right, evils are gonna grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So, okay, let's say you make it through the pandemic, you got vaccinated, you got the chip, and you got your bunkers stored up. Hey, those nuclear missiles are coming, man. Let's say you survive the nuclear missiles, the angels are coming. All right, Yahweh Shai himself is coming. All right, and Yahweh Shai and the angels are coming back to do two things: to destroy and deliver. All right, so if hey, if you aren't right with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, then you're gonna be destroyed. But if you are, then you're gonna be delivered from that nuclear destruction. Um, I'll finish it off with this verse: and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. So, hey, mirth spirit is out the window. Bring on righteous judgment. All right. To sum up this video. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory again to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Again, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And also peace and blessings to the elect out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Shalom.